Welcome to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is your spiritual principle of a day episode, featuring a recovering addict.
Hi, my name is Stacy. My clean date is July 2nd, 2022. You're listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast. This is the spiritual principle of the day for February 18th. Making room for humility. Understanding that we are not unique is a good indication of humility. It works. Step 7. The disease of addiction turns us into masters of self-deception. A distorted view of the world might convince us that we're smarter than the average addict. When we're new to Narcotics Anonymous, this outlook can keep us separate from everyone in the room and lead us right back out the door. The pain of stubbornly holding onto our perceived uniqueness can keep us stuck in isolation. As one member found, eventually the pain was great enough, and it didn't matter how different I thought I was from everyone else. I was an addict, and if I didn't want to die, I had to start doing some work. Step 7 shows us that in surrendering the defect of denial, we can let go of arrogance and pride, creating room for humility and identification within the fellowship. We can see our humility grow when we can sit in a meeting and naturally hear the similarities rather than our differences. When we trust a loving higher power to remove our shortcomings, we begin to make space for our true selves and develop a sense of our place within an NA community. Regardless of how long we have been clean, how old we were when we got here, our career status, we remain teachable. The gift of humility allows us to learn how to ask for help and take suggestions. Sometimes, even with years clean, we can convince ourselves that our case is different, or we are the exception. Calling our sponsors, regularly attending meetings, and continuing to practice spiritual principles remind us that we share the bond of addiction, as well as a common solution in NA. Whether we think we are nowhere near that bad, or the most flawed person in the room, we eventually find a place where we can be right-sized by continuing to work the steps. Spiritual principle. Today, I will be grateful for freedom from the sharp edges of my uniqueness and find opportunities to identify with my fellow addicts.
The Voices of Recovery podcast is an independent production of the Works of Wisdom. We welcome your questions and donations via PayPal at voicesofrecoverypod@gmail.com. This podcast is an independent production and is not affiliated with, associated with, authorized by, endorsed by, or in any way officially connected with Narcotics Anonymous or any of its subsidiaries or affiliates. While NA literature may be read during episodes for the purpose of supporting recovery, such use does not constitute an official endorsement or representation by Narcotics Anonymous. In accordance with NA tradition, the NA name is not to be used to endorse or be affiliated with any outside enterprise, and no such endorsement or affiliation is implied. Music is by Sage. Thanks for listening to the Voices of Recovery podcast.